Hey guys, welcome back. Denis from Miami, and we're at the Brickell Key, and I'm meeting a good friend of mine, Adrian, and he's gonna give us update on the project Mandarin Oriental. Hey Adrian, how are you?
Hey Denis, how you doing?
Good.
How's everything, man? Good?
Good. So let's go for a walk and
let's do it. It's so quiet here too. Like,
it
you actually look like this whole feeling of just Brickell Key, just completely different atmosphere. You wouldn't know that you're actually in Brickell.
Yep,
Around here.
Once you pulled in, it's like a secluded island, right? And it's very quiet here. I love it.
Yeah.
Brickell Key is a great area for someone who wants to stay in Brickell, right? And be not in that busy part of it.
Exactly.
How's the project? So it's moving forward with the construction of the sales gallery, right?
Yeah, so basically what you see there is actually the construction for our sales
Can we
gallery.
take a look from here? Let's show how the actual location of the sales gallery is positioned.
Yeah, so
Like
basically, so basically we're going to be doing this sales gallery. This should be done potentially around July is what we're estimating, right, for us to be able to get in there. But you see we're pointing it directly towards the water because we want to replicate the views, right, for the residents. So you'll have your beautiful kitchens, bathrooms, closet, everything built out in there to really give the clients the feeling for what it is to live on Brickell Key and really enjoy the view. So I'm
and you
super
can touch
excited
material, right, and everything. It's important to have a sales gallery for sure.
100%.
Even though that you guys almost sold like 95% of the building. No, I'm just kidding. It's not 95, but it's a lot. Look, that's a lot. Let's be honest. You know, you guys did a great job, like on the sales, because a lot of interest from potential buyers, right?
Yeah, we've received. I mean, the success has been pretty strong so far. Because naturally, I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that there's a lot of pent up demand for this specific project, right? So we've had a lot of sales, well, reservations, I would say, because that's kind of where we're at now. Eventually, we'll be converting to contract soon, but yes, reservations has gone very well, but still great time because obviously we're in the very beginning stage of this project. It's one of the most exciting projects I've ever been a part of. So can't wait to show you that once it's done. Hopefully in July we can come do something else, another video there. But definitely you get this nice little feeling of Brickell Key here, this whole basically island within an island feeling is what we're trying to design here. Do you want to take a walk around and kind of see?
Let's go. Let's see. Let's show the actual views of the.
Get out to the water and kind of
like of the boardwalk. How the people walking in here. It's very nice.
Yeah. So this is actually our detour path of the linear park, because there's a linear park that runs around this entire island.
How long is a mile and a half? Or?
It's about a mile and a half that runs around. Basically, it's a great feature for the community because if you want to walk in the morning, not bike ride, but walk, run, and whatnot, you can do it all along the water, right? So you see the same families, the same people exercising every morning, enjoying this beautiful walkway. Now we have a little detour, but this will eventually go all the way around the water, all the way around the island.
And here's the actual boardwalk, right?
Yeah, so here's the actual boardwalk. So this will be
wide enough.
It's wide enough. We're going to completely redo it as well. The lobby actually for the building is going to sit about 50 feet above this boardwalk. So that way you maintain the privacy for the building, but even though you still have this amazing boardwalk. And then this view right here is fantastic. It's specifically at night. This is one of the nicest views you can get in Miami because you have the open bay on one side and this beautiful skyline on the other side. So unique, I think, just coming down here, feeling it, seeing it, touching it. And then, of course, you look right across the bridge and there's Brickell City Center right over there. So literally 7-8 minute walk maybe to get to Brickell City Center. But absolutely fantastic. It's really tough to beat something like this.
Guys, good to see you, and I'd like to introduce my friends. Miley, she's a senior VP of the residential sales Swire Properties, and as well as the Adrian from the Gonzalez Group, and he represents the project as well, and they would They were very generous to meet me here in the sales gallery and gave me a full presentation on the project and share your experiences within Miami real estate. I know you've been in the business long enough. You have a couple of stories, I guess, to share with us.
Many.
more than a couple. Guys, thank you very much. And
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having us. It's a pleasure.
Please tell us where we are and what is that about the project Mandarin Oriental.
Well, I'll start by telling you we're on the island of Brickell Key. Swire Properties has been developing the island of Brickell Key for the past 40 years. I've been very fortunate to be part of that team for the past 30 years. So all of the sites that they've developed here, except for one, on the resi side, as I've been a part of. So I have seen the evolution of Brickell and of Brickell Key. And Swire is a visionary company. They look at long-term mixed-use projects. And to them, this island is a mixed-use island. It's a 44-acre island. It's right in the urban core in the city of Miami. We're looking right at Brickell Avenue, which historically has been known as the financial and banking center of Miami. So Swire, who is a 200-year-old company and has been doing this. It's a British company based in Hong Kong and also London. And they have had their eye on Brickell in Miami because of the fact that it resembles a lot what they do in Hong Kong. Miami is a gateway city, so is Hong Kong. There was a lot of similarities that we found that we could come here and do something very important and really bring in innovation, transformational projects that would change an area for the rest of its life. And I feel that we have done an extraordinary job with the team of people that work for us. And we've really put Brickell on the map. And especially, I would say, in the last 15 years. So I'll let Adrian give you a little piece of what he feels about it.
And also on the Brickell City Center, right?
Well, that's why, Brickell City Center, in the year 2012, we started to develop that site, which is an exceptional site because we were able to put together 3 contiguous blocks right in the heart of Brickell Avenue and bring in a $1.5 billion project that would transform Brickell forever.
It's a lot of money back then.
It's a lot of money.
Compared, right?
But actually, it wasn't at the time because we bought it in a very, very fortunate period. You know that really real estate is cyclical and markets shift and change. And we were the right players in the right place at the right time. And we were actually paid a third of what was actually being asked for that property. And we brought in 500,000 square feet of retail that was highly needed here. We brought in two condos, Reach and Rise, and 2 office towers. And also one of our brands, because we have hotel brands in Asia called East Hotel. And it's a business type hotel where it's for people that come into the city and want short stays and be right in the heart of Miami. And the East Hotel has done an amazing job here. And we're into it now about 7 or 8 years later, and it's brought Brickell to life. You know, Brickell was a 9 to 5 kind of place. You know, it was where everybody would come to work, your professionals like attorneys, accounting firms, banking, they were all here. But at 6 o'clock at night, this place became very dark. And we knew that there was a very big need for places to go, you know, especially food and beverage, and places to have fun. And we brought that factor, and places to shop, which is why people come here. So because we're in the center of Miami and because we're close to the port of Miami, everybody knows that we're here. And all of the developers that have been developing in this area for the past 15 to 20 years saw Brickell City Center is a great opportunity to come back into the marketplace and build. And as a result of this, you see a brand new skyline that you didn't see 20 years ago, with a lot of interesting, beautiful towers. And each and every one of them are an important component of what Brickell is today. And I believe that Brickell today is highly sought because it's a neighborhood. It's got a central location. It's very secure and safe. And we're actually minutes away from everything. We're minutes away from the Arts Center. We're minutes away from downtown. We're minutes away from the best medical centers that we have. We have also universities very close by. So we've seen a migration of a lot of people that lived in the suburbs in Miami coming down here because this is the place. We created a concept that hadn't been brought here before, which is the concept of eat, live, work, play, and stay. And so I think with Brickell City Center, we created that lifestyle that was highly needed in this area. And for that, we see the boom that we see here today.
Yeah. And then, of course, now we're basically doing the final piece of what's left on Brickell Key, right? So Swire basically was the visionaries for this entire island, having really developed about 75-80% of what's existing on the island, and holding this last piece of property for last, which is their crown jewel, which is for this beautiful Mandarin Oriental tower that we're talking about today. So definitely kind of just coming full circle, right? Yeah. Starting on Brickell Key, moving over to Brickell City Center, now coming back and doing their final piece on the tip of the island, which is, in my opinion, the best location on the island.
By far. Yeah. By far, unquestionably, to have 5 acres on the southeast tip of an island that overlooks the water and overlooks the city of Miami and also the beaches is a unique and privileged location. And so that's why we didn't jump 15 years ago and come here first, because we wanted to create the city that needed to be here, and that needed to be here to bring the international market here and to really focus on an exceptional brand like the Mandarin. We've been partners with them since the year 2000 when we built the original Mandarin. So this is a very unique moment in time, and it's the right time. And we've got the land, and we've got an amazingly beautiful project to tell you about today.
Yeah. Definitely. One of the most unique things about the land, like what Maile was saying, is that rarely do you get a piece of land where you have 5 acres with water on 3 sides, right? Typically, most of our waterfront properties in Miami, you have water on one side, basically giving you privileged views to one side, and the other side is facing towards the city or whatnot. Here you have water on 3 sides. So you actually have water views from every single unit.
And open water.
And open water.
And open water. So open water all the way around. Open water on one side, plus a beautiful Brickell skyline on the other side. Every residence has water views. In addition to that, pretty much almost every single bedroom has water views, which is very rare to say in Brickell. Typically, your master bedroom has water views and your secondary bedrooms don't. Here, pretty much every single bedroom does for the most part, right? So very, very unique. And you're combining a residential tower, which is our larger tower, which is the one that we're offering now, which is about 66 stories, 228 residences. And then we have a separate hotel tower, separate hotel component. So normally in Miami, what you find is either residences and condo within the same singular tower, or you have just one residential tower that's branded by a hotel component. Here we have them both, but separate. So that way it's kind of interconnected, but you maintain your exclusivity in the residential tower. So very, very unique for sure.
And I think what Adrian just said is a very important factor. When you compare branded residences with hotel components, most of them, the hotel is absentee. And so to me, in order to have the full experience of a branded hotel residence, you need to have the hotel component in order to give the proper room service, in order to give all the perks that you get when you stay at a hotel. You will never be lacking here because it's right next to us and it is interconnected, and it's all part of the whole conceptual plan of this project. So I think what's very interesting is the fact, like he said, we've got 2 towers that one complements the other. And it's interconnected by a 5-level podium that has over 80,000 square feet of amenities, and anything you could dream of and think of, we've come and brought it to fruition. The fact that we have over 7 pools, we've got a spa that's going to be second to none. Mandarin's always been known for exceptional quality spas, and also all the different amenities and perks that you see, the dining, you've got restaurants, you have bars. We've got a huge wellness component that is a part of the whole concept. And I think that we've been having such exceptional, I would say, success so far is the mere fact, it's 3 factors. I think 1, there's been a lot of pent-up demand for this site in the past 20 years. I think 2, our location is privileged. And I think 3, it is the brand. The fact that you have 2 incredible partners, Swire Properties and Mandarin Oriental, they go back many, many years. Their relationships date back way, way, way long time ago. And so we now are coming back, and a lot of people have thought, well, why are you taking the Mandarin down? It's only 24 years old. Well, because we feel that in order to bring this project to the level of luxury and that we wanted to be able to build a new project where the hotel tower is more boutique-y in feeling and the residential tower is more private. And you will see, as Adrian goes through the project and explains it to you, we have certain little details that I don't think any other developer could do by virtue of the fact that we're sitting on an island. So, I mean, I could go on and on because I'm very passionate about this project. I've been part of and privileged to have worked with a development team that has been developing this site for the past 3 years. So a lot of thought has gone into this project, and a lot of what we've learned throughout, our 30-year history here, we've come to play. I would say, and I hate to sound like we only have the best project in town. We don't. There's a lot of great quality products here, but I do think that our designs, particularly in the residential tower, our units they're very livable. They're homes in the sky. The sizing of the units was things that we thought about because we have always designed typically for end users. And this is a building for an end user that has a certain lifestyle that may own 2, 3, and 4 homes throughout the world. And this is a very special project because we have 2, 3, 4, and 5 bedroom product. So there's a lot of variety to choose from, and they're extremely well designed. We've got a phenomenal design team that put this all together. And we've brought this team from elsewhere, meaning we brought our architects are from New York, Kohn Pedersen Fox. Our interior designers, the one for the South Tower, the main tower, is Tristan Auer. He's Parisian. And
is that first project for them in Miami?
Here in Miami, yes.
It's also, sorry for interruption, it's also my kind of tip, 5 cents. It's also great to see someone that you don't see on every other project building.
We're bringing names that haven't been seen here before. Our hotel tower, we brought in Laura Gonzalez. She's also Parisian and very well known. And then our landscape architects are from Thailand. They're a group called Shama, that means earth in Thai. And I feel that they are part of a very important feature, which is being able to bring the island within an island concept with a resort lifestyle. And by resort lifestyle, you will see that there's a lot of plush landscape and vegetation. And it's something very unique to us because of the fact that we own 5 acres and we're able to do that.
Yeah, well, I will add my opinion, as you mentioned, that you kind of one of the best projects, but the thing is, you compare project by project, not just by name or by the way it looks like or by developer or by architect, but everything, right, together combined. Location as well, as I would like to add, you have 5 acres, right? Plus you next to Brickell right here, I'm looking at the Brickell right now. Once we drive in here, I was exiting my car and I'm like, oh, birds. I love it. I love birds. I love birds singing, and especially when you in a busiest part of the town.
Birds and dolphins and manatees.
And you feel like you're in a zoo, right?
Yes.
And it's important, especially for people who likes nature, right? Who doesn't want to be just in stone jungles, let's put it that way. Yeah. But if you want to be next to Brickell, walking distance, but same time you have that boardwalk around.
Yeah,
you can enjoy.
That 1.5-mile boardwalk, which is a linear park, I think makes us also very unique because after COVID, actually, everyone awakened to the fact that this is the best place to come and walk around and do exercise, yoga, meditate, because you have so much space and we have so much green space that we've allowed and left here for the residents of this community. For us, it wasn't very important to have a lot of green areas, like the village green that we have here on the island. This is something that most developers would take that and it could be a developable site. We decided not to. We decided to give it back to the community because we felt it was important. As we saw the growth of the island, we saw that this island originally was bought by young professionals and some empty nesters. But as time went by, we saw that families started coming and we saw the need for bigger apartments. So as developers, we listened to the market and we adjusted to it. And as a result, not only do you see nannies with strollers, you see people walking their dogs, you see people exercising. I mean, it's just a very live community and everyone here feels very happy and very proud to be part of this island. And it's a very well-managed island as well, I have to say.
Like I just remember someone comment on my social media about that park being developed, and they're like, oh, the greedy developers developing the last part of the island. I'm like, look, first of all, this is not public land. Second, developer allowed to use that land for a long time. You have to be grateful for it. And that person just did not reply anything because, first you come something out of without thinking because you're not knowledgeable. Yeah. But this is true, you had that part of the island being able to use for so long, right?
Yeah. People got used to it, I think, for a long time. But the reality is that you still have an amazing park in the center of the island that's donated by the developer as well. So the funny thing is that you notice that a lot of people, once they move to Brickell Key, they rarely leave Brickell Key because they fall in love with the community.
That's true.
You have the marketplace here.
Yeah, you
have everything you want here. If you didn't want to leave, you don't have to leave the islands, right? So there's really no other place in Miami, I think, that's like this, where you have this island style living that's separated, but you're literally 7-8 minutes away from Brickell City Center walking, right? So you have that connection to the hustle and bustle whenever you want it, but you also have that detachment as well. And like you mentioned, you're surrounded by water. You can actually see birds flying around, some nature and whatnot. So completely different vibe, completely different feel.
And for people with kids, like strollers, like babies, I even have a couple of friends, they moved here because they were planning to have kids. And this is, I guess, just the best option. Like not to compare buildings or just actual location. It's the best option to move if you want to have a kid and you want to walk around with a stroller, because in the Brickell, when you have more people, more traffic, especially traffic, you're not that, especially for moms, not that secured, right, in the head. But here you can quietly walk around, and it's the best part of the.
You have your 24-hour security that runs around the island, plus your 24-hour security that runs within your buildings and whatnot. And every morning I make the walk basically from right around the park coming here to the to our preview lounge. And like you mentioned, you see every morning the moms walking with their children in the strollers, hanging out at the park. There's at least 5 to 10 moms every morning just hanging out with their children at the park every morning. So it's a very, very safe place to kind of walk around, and for families just as well as young professionals. So
I also like the fact that you mentioned livable units.
Very livable.
I'm sure you do know as well, a lot of developers, they do build just to sell, but the thing is, when there is something So sometimes I see, you know, as you're aware, we sell different projects, right? And sometimes when you see a building has been delivered, but there is a kitchen is super small for like 3,000 square feet apartment, or closets. You're looking at 4 bedrooms. I'm not going to mention the name of the buildings, and you're walking in there, and it's way too small.
I think what you're trying to say is that people can't actually, when they look at a floor plan, they can't really visualize the dimensions and actually see what they're buying. And you know, developers are clever sometimes, and they make the floor plans huge, but yet, you know, you got to read the fine line and see what you're really buying. What I find is that I put myself in everybody's position. First, I put myself in the buyer's position. How would I want to live here? You know, and then I also look at it from the development point of view, because it's a meeting of the minds.
Of course.
How the development listens to the sales teams to provide the best quality product and the best designs. Everyone has to be around the table having these kind of discussions, because it is important. Room dimensions are very important. Sizes of kitchens, ceiling heights, terraces, all these little things that make your home livable, I think is a very important thing that we Swire pay a lot of attention to that. Because one thing that most developers don't do is they don't live in their developments. Well, ours do live in our development. So that's also a big endorsement when your developer lives on your island, and they're visible, they care, you know. I think that sets us apart from many others.
Yeah, and I like industry. The outdoor spaces and the 2 bedrooms, I think, and 3 bedrooms as well, like that. I haven't seen it, you know, you have your, like a terrace enclosed from 3 sides. I understand there will be no wind at all. This important part as well for Miami, right? Especially in the high forest. And like, this is something that you don't see often, not just often, you don't see it all.
In a site like this, it would be a shame not to have expansive terraces, because, I mean, you're buying that view, and that view, you need to enjoy it, not just from the inside, you need to enjoy it from the outside.
That's what I do right now in my apartment, to be honest. I just enjoy it from inside. I have a corner unit, huge balconies, probably 30 feet, like long to one side, like 3 balconies on 3 sides, but I'm just enjoying it from inside because it's super windy. I'm not gonna say name of the building, but
and I'll tell you a couple of more things. I think, you know, we have high ceilings. They're 11 feet. We have terraces that are 12 foot deep out of the living areas, and that's very important to us. We're adding a wet bar component outside, so you can entertain outside and not have to be coming back inside the unit. I think we have another thing that I did at our last project, Asia, is we incorporated a storage right on your floor, so that it's truly quickly accessible, and you don't have to go down to the garage in order to find whatever you have stored in your storage. Those are things that most developers don't pay too much attention to, but we do, because we put ourselves in the apartments and living in them, and we want to make it convenient and a place for them to continue to buy. Yeah. And as Adrian said earlier, it's a true fact. I have had buyers that have bought from one building to another building to another building, and they have been avid followers of ours because of the attention to detail that we incorporate into our units, and because we care and we're present. And I think that's very important. Yeah,
also I will add to viewers, you guys can look at the Asia resales and how many units on the market. I think it's a great example. Great example to envision what you're gonna get with that developer.
Because if I'm doing my job right, my job is to create value. So in order to create value, we have to change designs and we have to listen to our clients. So I really think that we've done a really good job at listening to the marketplace. You know, I think long-term investment-wise, I think that unique sites like this only come once in a lifetime. So the opportunity for future value is endless. And I would strongly invite all of you to come and see for yourself.
Definitely. I think if I can chime in, just a few of like the features that kind of distinguish this project from everything else. Like Mylink mentioned a few of them already, like the high ceilings here, right? Standard ceiling heights in Miami are about 9 feet. Here you're approximately 11 feet, right? Our terraces are so spacious. Just to kind of give you an idea, my smallest unit, that's a 2-bedroom, that's about 2,300 square feet, has roughly about 1,000 square feet of terrace, right? That's not common for a 2-bedroom unit. You have very unique floor plans, like the one that you were discussing with the 3 walls of glass in your living area and kitchen area. Those are plans I've never seen before in other projects. I don't know if you've seen them in other projects, but I've never really seen plans like that. So a lot of innovation that's coming into the design of this project. And then you combine all of that with amazing finishes, right? We have kitchens that are going to be done by Molteni, the Italian brand. They're absolutely amazing. Calicut marble on your countertops. Also includes a breakfast table attached to your kitchen island. Gaggenau is going to be all of your appliances. This includes a wine fridge and a built-in espresso machine. The assigned storage, it's such a unique thing to have because at every project I've ever sold, clients always ask me, are storages going to be available for sale? Are there going to be storages in this building?
Plus
Many
on the same
developers
floor.
don't do it, especially on the same floor. So most of ours are located on the exact same floor and it's already included with your residence. So they're really trying to they're listening to all the different clients and put everything together into this project. So the feedback that we've gotten from everybody is very, very positive on all the design aspects and everything that we've kind of put together here. And the majority of the units that we have are actually corner units. So a lot of them are wraparound terraces, which is also nice, right? So you combine all of those features with the fact that you're on the tip of the island, you have water on 3 sides, you have an amazing brand like the Mandarin Oriental, you have your residential tower, you have your hotel component, you really have everything you really want. And the exclusivity factor, right? Smallest unit being 2,300, going up to about 5,800 for typical units. Anything larger than that, we'll be looking at penthouses, but it ranges. The maximum you have per floor is about 5 residences per floor. And the higher you go up, it gets to less. You get to the second collection, it reduces to 4 residents per floor. Go to the next one, it reduces to 3 residents per floor. And then you go to the last one, it reduces to 2 residents per floor.
And those have little waiting pools in the back.
And even the ones at top have the little waiting pools. They have a main kitchen, they have a chef's kitchen. So it's very rare that you find where the developer has thought of pretty much everything for the most part on something like this, right? I find it hard to find something that they haven't thought of. Normally you can find a couple things on different projects. You're like, oh, maybe it would have been nice if they did this, it would have been nice if they did that. But here you really have a hard time finding it because I feel like this has been a project that's been in the works for many, many years. And it's been a rumor in Miami for like the last 10 years, right? So I think that's part of the demand, really the success that what we're having is just the brand is huge, the location's great. It's really a recipe for a masterpiece, essentially, because this project is virtually impossible to replicate for a second time.
Yeah.
Right? Almost all of the projects that are on the waterfront, water on one side, you can buy an older building, knock it down, rebuild another building, looks very similar or identical to that one. To find 5 acres on the tip of an island and then connect that island to the best section of Miami, which is Brickell, makes it really one of those once-in-a-lifetime type projects that come around. So, yeah.
Guys, thank you very much.
Have we sold you?
Yes. The worst part with that, I'm thinking to myself, okay, how long is it going to take to build it? Now you have to wait that long, It's like with this project, you get so impressed that then you have to wait like 5 years till it's done. But, I'm patient enough. But
Good
this
things
is the
are
best
worth
part
waiting for.
Yeah, but then this is the best part about my job, right?
Yeah.
When you work with this type of project, you sell them, then you have a client who owns those units, you come, you visit them, and then you can have like dinners with them and you can enjoy. And who knows, maybe I'll move here as well in the future. For now, we're looking for a house, but we'll see, because this is the really great part of the option.
And time tends to go pretty quickly for the most part. Like I think about COVID and like, it feels like it was just yesterday, but it was like 40 years ago already, right? The time goes by pretty quickly and they do want to deliver both simultaneously at the same time.
Yes.
Which is huge because they only want to disrupt the island one time, essentially building the construction and delivering them together. So that I appreciate wholeheartedly because I think it's great to just do them exactly at the same time. Obviously, it'll take some time because it takes time to build some towers like this, but at the end, it's for the betterment of the city, the island, just.
Yeah, and plus for the buyers as well, right? If I would buy something here, I would love to enjoy a hotel component right away, not like after 2-3 years, something like that. That's a good part as well.
It's going to be a renaissance.
Yeah. So we will be having our, by the time, the exact time of this shooting, right, we're in our preview lounge. Eventually we will have our beautiful sales gallery, which hopefully we can do another video from there. When that's done, we'll have our model kitchen, model bathroom, and we will be able to showcase all the beautiful, amazing finishes that we're going to be offering.
And the view.
And the views. Yeah. Once it's done, I'll come back and you see you guys again.
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you for your time, guys. Thank you for sharing the experience.
For having us. My pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.